Container gardening is the easiest way to start a garden. Fill a container with soil. You can garden just about anywhere. You can also grow most herbs and vegetables in containers, but it does come with some limitations. Today we'll talk about the pros and cons of container gardening, so you can maximize the benefits and understand the challenges and have the best garden possible. I'm Angela from Growing in the Garden. My garden is in Mesa, Arizona. I want to help you succeed even if you're gardening in tough conditions. Let's start with the benefits. It's easy and inexpensive to get started. A 5-gallon bucket or a grow bag is probably the least expensive way to begin gardening. They're also versatile and flexible. You can put a container just about anywhere. If you're trying to garden in a smaller space, containers are perfect for you. You can maximize sunlight in the winter or minimize sunlight during the hot summer months. Choose a location that has the best light at that time of year, and then if you need to move it when conditions change, it's easy to move. Moving? No problem. You can take containers with you. No weeds. Gardening is more fun when you don't have to pull weeds. Fewer pests and diseases. Generally, you're starting with fresh soil, so diseases are less of a problem. Pests also haven't built up in the soil, and they'll be easier to spot and manage. You can give plants access to good soil right away. Fill up your container with good soil and get started. Regular garden soil is too heavy for containers. Use a mixture that is light and airy. I use the raised bed mix from Arizona Worm Farm in all of my containers. It has compost with worm castings for fertilization and coco coir and perlite for moisture retention and drainage. Containers are perfect for beginners because it's hard to overwater. One of the biggest mistakes we make as gardeners is overwatering our plants. That can be tough to do in containers. You still can, but as long as you have good drainage, extra water will drain out the bottom. You can grow just about every kind of vegetable, herb, and even many fruits in containers. There are a lot of choices of what to grow. However, there are challenges. Let's talk about some of them and the best ways to manage them. One of the biggest challenges is limited growth space. A container naturally limits the size of the roots, which will limit the size and vigor of the plant. Choose the right size container for the crops you're growing. Understand how large crops grow and always choose the larger container when you have a choice. The other way to make sure you're providing enough room for your crops is to fill the container all the way up with soil. Don't add rocks or fillers. Use soil in the whole container. Another challenge with container gardening is watering. Plants' roots can't go looking for water when they're in a container. It is up to you to meet their watering needs. Two things that can help with this challenge are a moisture meter and Oyas. A moisture meter makes it easy to tell if your plants need more water. No more guessing. An Oya allows you to add extra water to that container so plants' roots don't dry out as quickly. Don't forget to mulch. That will help hold that moisture in the container. The type of container you're growing in will also make a difference in the amount of water that it needs. Grow bags will dry out more quickly and require more frequent watering. Metal or ceramic containers will hold in that moisture and won't dry out as fast. Terracotta and wood are also more porous and may dry out quickly. Another challenge is the nutrient levels in the containers. It's hard to build up that good soil like you can in raised beds and in-ground areas. That drainage hole that's essential for allowing that water to escape also flushes valuable nutrients with it. We have to replace those nutrients when we're gardening in containers. Use good soil. It will hold on to more of the nutrients. Fertilize monthly with a balanced organic fertilizer. Light doses more often are more effective. It's never a bad idea to add some compost. And finally, temperature fluctuations. This is a big one, especially in hot climates like where I live. Plants in containers will cool down and heat up more quickly. This can be helpful in the spring, but it's harmful during hot summers and during freezing winters. Plants have preferred growing temperatures and can get stressed with wide fluctuations in temperature. Stressed plants don't grow as well and are more susceptible to pests and diseases. Group containers together for an insulating effect. This is helpful during hot and cold weather. Use larger containers. They'll have less temperature variation. Put smaller containers away during the hottest months of the year if you live in a hot summer climate. During the winter, these containers grow so well, but when it gets hot, it fries the plants. When it gets hot, I'll put these smaller containers away until temperatures come back down in the fall. Where you put your containers matters. Don't put them next to a block wall on a cement pad during the summer. They will heat up too much. In the winter, avoid the cool spots in your yard and look for sunny locations instead. Let's look at our list. Use it to help you decide if container gardening is right for you based on your circumstances and preferences. Although container gardening has challenges, hopefully now you know what to do. I'd love to hear about your experiences. Let me know in the comments.